Welcome to Entreprogrammers Podcast, the podcast for developreneurs, the podcast where you get to be a fly on the wall listening to real conversations of three developers trying to tackle the challenges they face as entrepreneurs.
All right, we're live.
The Simple Programmer edition of the Entreprogrammers Podcast.
Yeah.
No Manny, no Chuck yet, anyway. So, so John and I just talked yesterday. So we're kind of all caught up. Okay, so, one thing I'm working on here, excuse me, I am offering a discount discount on all of our products for existing Simple Programmer members. So I found there's a WooCommerce, actually the WooCommerce membership plugin that we already have supports this. So I set up the membership and just added everyone into it, and then you can just set a discount rate and just add products to the membership. So I actually, and it's really slick the way it works. So when you go to check out, it says, hey, if you're a member, you get a discount on this. Go here for more information.
That's awesome. I love that.
So it's going to drive people. Anyone who goes through the checkout process will see a little notice about the membership. I'm setting the discount at 50% right now. So we'll see how that goes. See if it's going to bring in anything new. So right now it looks like I looked at our customer lifetime value average for the members, and it's right up. There's Chuck. It's right around. Hey, Chuck, how's it going?
If I ever say I want to be a landscaper out loud, just shoot me.
Nice. Oh yeah, you've been landscaping all week, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got
like
about
doing
half
sod?
of our sod in.
Oh man.
Yeah, we've got the backyard almost ready to put the sod in. But my wife insisted that we have it delivered yesterday, and I didn't think we were ready, but anyway, so now we have to put it in.
Does it come in strips or squares, or how does it?
Yeah, it comes in strips. They're about 2 feet by 3 or 4 feet.
Okay.
And they're freaking heavy. And
it's basically 6 inches of dirt, right?
Yeah.
Held together by grass.
I don't know if it's 6 inches, but it's at least 3 inches. And anyway, so the sprinklers are basically together at this point. I'm just replacing sprinkler heads. And yeah, then sorry, I'm like so tired. That's all I've done for the last 2 days. And the day before that, I was super sick. And then I was doing it the day before that. So anyway, I got the sprinklers working late last night, finally, just the last piece together. And then
how deep are they? Are they just like right under the sod, or are they like 6 or 8 inches down, or?
It depends on how you reckon it. So sprinkler heads, like the nice ones, the decent ones, they're about 3 or 4 inches tall.
Okay.
And so then you stick those into the ground and screw them in. So I've been fiddling with that stuff. And some of the sprinkler heads are fine because they pop up high enough to get above the sod. And some of them I've had to pull up. So anyway, it's been kind of interesting. But yeah, I just go look for the big wet patches because we tilled up the yard and we hit a few of them while we were tilling the yard. So
okay.
But I have 2 of the lines basically together. So and those are the 2 in the front where the sod's been laid. So I'm just anyway, I'm getting the rest of them together. But it's just a matter of replacing sprinkler heads at this point. So, and then I've got one valve that the valves are electric, right? And so they have 2 wires coming off of them. that go onto a solenoid, and the solenoid puts pressure on the valve to turn it on and off. And I have one valve that I have no idea which wire in the box is supposed to connect to. So I'm going to run all the rest of them. I'm pretty sure I know which line it is. So I'm just going to run all the rest of them, and then I'll probably tell the sprinkler box to turn that one on, and then I'll just start, because I know where ground is.
Just start licking your fingers and
basically just start sticking it to the different wires. Oh, that's the one. But yeah, so my mom and sister and my father-in-law and my brother-in-law and his dad all came over and helped us level out part of the yard and put sod down. So that's been good. So the front yard is basically in. The lawn along both sides of the house is basically in. It's just the backyard. But the backyard was the worst. So
nice. How many? What's your acreage? Or
we're on.
This is like, man, this is the Blair Witch edition.
Yeah. Well, we're on about a fifth of an acre, I think.
Okay. All right.
It's not too terribly big, but it's not. So anyway, so we're going to go level out the yard. It'll probably take us a couple more hours, and then put the sod down, and that'll probably take us a couple more hours. I think I'm actually going to post on Facebook and see if I can get some of the neighbor kids to come over and help.
Oh, nice.
Because if we can get a couple more sets of hands to come over and move dirt and stuff, we should be able to cut the time that it takes us in half. So anyway, so that's been that. And then I've been trying to get feed wrench or pod wrench, sorry, the rest of the way done so that it'll serve up RSS feeds and start tracking analytics. And I'll probably wind up doing a bit of that while I'm at Podcast Movement next week. So
cool. Are you going to talk to anybody about the try to?
I probably will. Probably just show them what I've got and see where people are at. So
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Hey, Manny's joining from India.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's where he is.
Is that why it's so dark?
Oh, he's muted though.
Sorry, I've been muted, or I am muted. Oh shit, there's fireworks going on in the background. It's like 9:40 p.m. here.
Okay, nice. How long are you there for?
On, guys? Huh? I'm leaving.
How long are
morning,
you?
Actually.
Oh, okay.
Flying back to San Diego tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably a pretty good flight, I would imagine.
What do you mean?
As in long.
Oh yeah, shit, man. Like 24 plus hours total time.
Oh man.
Like flight plus like the remaining time. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. It's always like 24 is a minimum. So
That's
nice.
crazy. So where in India are you?
I'm in Jaipur, so it's up north by Delhi. It's a big tourist destination as well. It's a lot of old forts and palaces and all that stuff. That's where my parents are, so that's where I go.
Awesome.
I'm trying to find my headset so that you guys. Shit, can't find it. Can't find. Hey guys, carry on then. I'm gonna find my headset before I come
Alrighty.
again.
Okay.
All right.
But anyway, so I was talking about pod wrench. So if I can get the rest of this together, it'll serve up feeds and track downloads, and it'll also set things up so that I don't have to do any funky stuff with Google Drive to get files to Eric anymore.
Okay.
We'll just upload them to Podwrench, and then he can download them and then upload the final versions, and it'll all go to the right place. and set up the
Nice.
feed and the whole 9 yards.
So you won't need like Libsyn or anything anymore, right? You'll just
So
Easy.
the way that it works right now is if you upload the finalized file, it puts it in. It uses FTP to put it where it's supposed to go. So you'd still use Libsyn
okay.
or whatever to store the files,
I gotcha.
but it would do all the tracking for you.
Gotcha. Okay,
And
so
then-
yeah, Libsyn's just the media server. It's not the
Yeah.
RSS.
Yep. So it would serve your RSS feed and everything, and then yeah, if I can get that together, then I think eventually I'd like to offer storage, but I'd have to find some deal that it's not, because I think part of the issue that Derek had with Signal Leaf is that he was storing it on AWS or something, and so he had to pay
Right.
for the storage and traffic ongoing.
Yep.
And when people are small, that's fine, but when people get big, it really costs you. So I'm probably going to see if I can work out some deal for like a straight up, flat rate or tiered pricing or something, so that I know what it's going to cost me.
Gotcha.
And then if somebody does go big and it bumps me to the next tier, at least I know that that's coming.
hmm
So
That would be still with AWS though. Just
no, probably one of these other CDNs out there. There are a bunch of them out there
Okay.
now. So,
gotcha.
or find something that's straight, that charges only for storage, right? And all the data is free or something like that, so that it's a predictable model.
You're better. I think your better model than that would be to not get in that business at all, just because we already know, like, it's a very commodity business, right? Like, but instead to partner with someone like Libsyn, and then basically to offer the service, and you just offer it through Libsyn, either through a white label or just through a straight referral.
Ooh,
You can see if they do white label, and then basically you're just going to get a cut off of that, and then you'll have the upside, but you won't have any of the downside.
That's true.
Yeah, and not only that, you will have your marketing done for you in some ways, because you get a built-in user base rather than competing with that established big players.
Yeah, that makes sense. It also makes sense then that I could actually offload to a certain degree not just the hosting, but also the analytics.
And not only that, it's like good to have an MVP that's not bloated, right?
Yeah.
So as little as possible rather than as much as possible to get it to
Well,
work.
The other thing is that I could also make this, integrate with other hosting platforms like Blueberry and stuff.
That's true.
Right.
Exactly.
And so then it's like, hey, look, pick your poison. They're going to do the analytics, and then we're going to do the marketing and content scheduling, things like that.
Yep.
And then we have an offering that's separate from that. And then if you have your own thing where you're uploading it to some other file storage through FTP, because I know a few people do that, then I already have that working.
But that doesn't sound like the kind of professional podcasters you would go after, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm using it at my level.
Fair.
So, I could go after people at that level. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it'd be that kind of thing. And I think really the thing that would make the most money, I mean, I think there's a business here as far as just, providing a software as a service that does this stuff. But I think the real money would be in saying, hey, you have a small audience. I have 6 other podcasts that have a small audience, but together you make a big enough audience for me to go and market.
Yeah.
And then taking a cut of that. So
You're in a position to get both, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the idea, and I know Rob Walsh over at Libsyn, and I've talked to a couple people at Blueberry, so I could probably work with them and then just use their services for the analytics.
Yeah.
The problem is that I don't trust Blueberry's analytics anymore.
Yeah.
So I'd have to figure that out.
The analytics may be something that you would want to keep, because that gives you some good lock-in.
Yeah, that's true.
because that's and that's related to the sponsor. Like you want to have the accurate information for the sponsors. So
That's
keeping that
true.
piece in-house makes sense. I kind of agree on the
Storage.
file hosting. Yeah, the storage. Like that's, as long as you integrate and make it, as long as the workflow to produce the podcast is easy,
Yeah.
doesn't really
Well,
matter where the
Yeah, because the
file
workflow is essentially you upload the file, it connects via FTP, which is what both Blueberry and Libsyn use for their file store.
Mhm.
So you just upload the file to our system, and it turns around and pushes it through FTP over. I've got it working. I've been playing with it for the last, or on Monday I was playing with it. So yeah, then I could get all that hooked in, and basically, yeah. And then if people want to run with Libsyn's analytics for, to check on mine or vice versa, then they can.
Yeah, but that's really cool.
I also figured out that I think it's the International Association of Broadcasters. They put out some kind of standard for measuring traffic on podcasts.
Oh,
And it's kind of ambiguous. I was reading through it and I'm like, okay, what does this actually mean? Like some of it's pretty clear. It's like, this is a download, but then it's, the deduplicating and things like that. It wasn't quite clear on some of it. So I may base some of my analytics on that if it's not too heavy-handed.
well, if you're going to have a standard, it's good to make it as ambiguous as possible.
Yeah. Well, the idea behind it, right, is that then advertisers know that, all
that
the
from
numbers
the
are being measured the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that from the Dictator's Playbook?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my feeling, though, is that it's not so widely accepted that I have to go with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if a lot of advertisers come back and they're like, are you using this standard or that standard, and it becomes a real issue, then, then I can adopt something. But in the meantime, I think I'm just going to go with common sense. And if the IAB thingy looks common sensey enough, then I'll check it out, and then I'll probably go with it. And if not, then I'll just say, look, this is how we deduplicate. And it'll be something simple like, if they match on 3 of these 4 axes, we figure they're the same person.
Right.
So
Any of you
Anyway.
guys use Mac?
yeah, I'm on a Mac.
Yeah, me too.
Not
My MacBook just died on me
Oh
while I'm in
no,
India.
that never happens, man. What are you talking
Buy
about?
the old model. I'm not kidding. I have the new model, and it has all the USB-C ports on it, the Thunderbolt 3s, and I hate it. So go buy
Dude,
the
it's-
old model with the actual ports on it.
Okay, so what about right now? What am I supposed to do? Shit.
Well, what are you using? Your phone now?
Yeah, I'm on my fucking phone. I'm basically unable to work, more or less. I'm working from my phone.
Yeah.
You hire somebody in India, and you tell them what to do on their computer. I had to say it. You are in India.
It makes so much sense. Except that I have to fly back tomorrow. Shit, man.
I guess you're
That
going to
would
fly
make-
back to the Apple store.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I need to do right now. Fly back
Have
to
the
the
Uber
Apple Store.
driver drop you right off at the Apple store.
Fuck, man. Ugh. Yeah,
Do you-
so I don't know anything. Like, I've been searching online. There's nothing really. Like, I press the button, it doesn't power up.
I had that problem, and it was my motherboard.
What
That's
was the
my
problem?
last laptop. So
Huh?
I had taken it in to be serviced before, and they didn't connect something back in properly,
Oh,
and so it wore out part of the motherboard, and they couldn't save it. And of course, the place I took it to service it that screwed it up was the place I took it to when they said it was completely dead, and they also said that it wasn't them that serviced it. I'm just like,
Huh.
okay. You're the only people I take my machines to, so yeah, they lost themselves a customer, and yeah, I'm pissed off enough to where if I need anything done, I will actually drive up to downtown Salt Lake to get it done.
To go to the Mac store, the
Go to
Apple
the
store.
Apple Store. Yep.
Have a genius work on it.
Yeah.
That's freaking.
So, shit. I mean, if your motherboard is fried, how much would it cost you to fix it?
You buy a new machine.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But your data is safe.
Yeah,
You can pull yeah.
yeah. Well, they pulled my hard drive out and cloned it, which means they missed all the dot files. So all my settings were gone, which was mostly what I wanted off of it. So then they copied it to an external hard drive, and then they gave me the external hard drive with all my data on it, except for all the data I wanted. And so I hooked it up to my machine. I'm not jaded, I promise. I hooked it up to my machine, and I was like, well, crap, this doesn't help. So now I have a really nice external drive, and the old drive they put it back in my old MacBook Pro. So eventually I'm going to crack it open and find an enclosure I can put it in, but
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, can you just put the old hard drive in an enclosure? Oh, no, we don't do that. You people are not
man.
geniuses. To Tom's point, right?
I'm getting nervous just thinking about this shit. Like,
How
having
old
to
is
buy a
it?
new- It's 2015, so 3 years.
Okay.
But the
Yep,
problem
mine was
is that
too.
I don't want to buy one right now, right before the new one is coming out in September.
Oh.
Can you?
So
Is there
I'm
some
kind
way
of
to
right
rent
in the
one or
middle.
borrow one?
I don't know if there's a renting thing.
That-
You could, okay, one option would be to buy one on eBay, which I have gotten basically all of my computers forever on eBay.
Yeah.
And the one that I'm using right now, I got, and you still are going to pay a decent amount for it, but it'll be maybe 30 to 50% cheaper. And then you could just sell it when you get the new one.
It'll have real ports on it.
It does.
Sure.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I do have real ports right now, but I know it will go away with the 2018. Yeah, fuck, man. All right.
No one wants to connect devices anymore to anything. So
Not if you're an Apple and if you fucking
No,
are
you
dead. And
no.
you know.
You can connect stuff just fine. It just has to go into one of those USB-C ports through a dongle. And
Not
the
only
Thunderbolt
that,
3,
if you buy a 2017 iPhone and a 2017 MacBook, you just cannot connect the two with a random cable. You have to have a fucking dongle to connect the two.
Yep.
Like, how stupid! Like, what a fucking genius! Like, Steve Jobs designed this shit.
yeah, I wish they worked together like they were made by the same company, but they don't.
Yeah, apparently not.
And the other issue that is there is that, Thunderbolt 3, it's so amazing. You can chain 60 million devices together on Thunderbolt 3. Yeah, except they don't sell dongles that do that. The dongles that come with a USB C or Thunderbolt 3 port on them are power only. I've never seen one that'll chain.
Yeah.
And so so you can hook your power through one. So, it'll charge my laptop through the same one that's running my display. But that's it. I'm limited to the 4 ports on my laptop.
It's the stupidest fucking thing, man. It took out all the stupid ports.
Oh, just wait till I start complaining.
I know. Shit. Yeah, no. Fuck. All right. Well, that was my rant.
No, that was
And-
my
and
rant.
Chuck-
I'm
and,
sorry.
and Chuck's as well.
I'm sorry.
we woke Chuck up here. He's overcome his sod fatigue.
The
my
Apple
gosh.
Apple aficionado here.
I'm not an aficionado, or I'd have known better than buying the one I bought.
Yeah, now I'm stuck in this. I can't go back to Windows for now. Shit.
I will tell you that I have been able to limp along on an iPad Pro. So, I use Google Apps or Google G Suite or whatever they call it for my email and things like that. I don't know if you're set up the same way I am, but a lot of the apps that I use have apps on the iPad. And so you get the little fold around keyboard cover that you have, and it'll work in a pinch. And so if you can limp along with that for a couple months.
I don't have one now. I'd have to invest in one too. So I'd much rather just wait around for the stupid next version of 2018 MacBook, which will have no ports whatsoever. It'll be all fucking wireless at that point.
So
No
get
ports,
the,
just
get the
be like,
2015 one again. Those are out now, and it'll be cheaper anyway, and it'll have all the ports you want on it.
Shit. Keep staying there.
I
in
think
terms of,
Josh.
performance.
I think Josh did an experiment with his iPhone and a keyboard, a Bluetooth keyboard for a while, working just off of the iPhone. I'm not sure that went so well though.
When you are
didn't go so well.
when you are a badass email marketer like Josh, you probably get away with shit like that, but not when you're trying to do videos and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's you can write a few things, but it's really painful to have to even to copy and paste, like even to put something into Drip is pretty painful. So
Yeah, and the
Not
screen
doing that,
size
yeah.
just doesn't.
yeah,
Hey, what happened with your promotion? You guys are running it, Podia?
not yet. No, next week. So yeah, I'm gonna do
Nice.
that next week. Yeah, so that what I'm gonna do with that is stick it on the end of the blogging workbook. Or we have the blogging course.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stick it on the end of that and make it evergreen afterwards.
But this one is gonna be a full promotion.
It's gonna be sort of it's gonna be 3 emails. So like 2 days, 3 emails. So not a huge push, but because I think it's gonna be a fairly limited appeal. But they helped me out a ton. Part of the reason I'm doing it is because they helped me out a ton to get all my content migrated and set up. And I'd mentioned that we'd give it a shot with our audience, promote it, and see if people would respond. So we do. I mean, we do
Nice.
like with Bluehost. With Bluehost, we do with that blogging workbook or that blogging course. We do about $2,000 a month in commissions, pretty
Yeah.
consistently. So, and I think a lot of the people going through that course would consider Podia. So,
Yeah. That's like new hosting or repeat hosting that you get commission on.
Bluehost, it's new signups.
Nice. That's a lot.
So, yeah.
How much do you get
yeah.
per sign up? $100?
John, is it $50 or 100?
For Bluehost,
Yeah.
I think it's 125 now is what we got.
Oh, okay.
We're almost at the highest.
Hold on. So did you just sign up through their affiliate link, or you guys did some other deal with them?
I think John signed up, and then we've negotiated with them a couple times to get it up. Get
Yeah.
the rate up.
Really? Is that how it works? Okay. So after you
Yeah,
have a certain
there's-
number of sales, you kind of
Yeah,
say, "Hey,
they
I
want to
that
see a
area."
certain volume. Yeah, they actually had reached out to us at one point to try to get us to do more, and I was like, look, and I know it looks like we're doing a lot, and they're like, oh, you could do so much more. I'm like, I don't think we can really, because it was like they were getting all the good stuff already from the blogging
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
blogging email course, and we did it. We did a bunch of experiments with like banner ads and other other promotions, and none of them did anything. Yeah, it was like,
Yeah, because you're basically going after the target right away. So everything else is just not simple programmer audience, but
Exactly.
blogger audience.
yeah, exactly.
The thing is, like at that point, you found people that are digging ditches and you're selling them shovels. So
Yes.
right, that just trying to
Yeah.
sell shovels on the front page doesn't work too well. Buy this
Yeah.
shovel. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, buy the shovel when they're trying to go to the grocery store.
yeah.
Not really.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But like if we do building a business course or something like that, then having you need a website for a business. So
Well, yeah, that could be another email course add on to what you already have with the blogging course. How to
Mhm.
make your first $100 or $1,000 online. 0 to 1K simple programmer edition.
Yep. Yeah, we have talked about that. We've actually talked about just becoming an affiliate for one of those programs too.
It's
Trying-
probably not a
trying
bad
that
idea,
out.
but like try to go after Ramit or one of those guys.
Yeah.
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 Yep. So, yeah. So you guys weren't here last week, but so we did I did another membership push, like not last week. Wait, yeah, it was last week, and so first month we did, the first month when I was doing the $99 offer for the $99 annual, we did 56 signups, and then this last one last week I got 55. So it seems like I should be able to maintain a relatively good level of
So
signups
this email is
every month.
going to how many? Like to everyone?
Yeah, this went to everyone. So it's not a huge number at all. It's really kind of low, but it's consistent. So and
It's happening every month at the end of the month. Is that what you're doing?
mid-month. I haven't decided on my exact schedule yet. The first time I did it over the weekend, and then I did this one in midweek, and it didn't really seem to matter. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to do it next time.
But you're
I might mix
spacing
it
it out by a week or by a month. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, they're a month apart. So we've got so it was like the 15th through the 17th or something like that. And ended at midnight. And I set it up with a pretty link. Bless you. Set it up with a pretty link.
Sorry.
John's got a tip for you on the fixing your laptop, Manny.
Yeah. Living Beings put that in chat, so I don't know. It's worth a shot.
Sorry, I can't see chat here because on my
He
phone.
said unplug, pull battery, hold down the power button to discharge residual power, then plug it back in and try to start it up. So.
But in this case, I mean, I would have to fucking open up the whole thing to unplug my battery. It's like
True.
open up the case and all that stuff and
Yeah.
the machining, which is a lot of pain for Mac. But thanks, man.
So I'm just doing what I do is I do the entire email list. I hit the entire list first with like hey, it's open, membership's open for enrollment again. And then I hit them with like one other email about it. And then the last couple emails I only send to the people that opened those first two emails. So that cuts the volume down a little bit. Because we last month we sent like 2.5 million emails.
Oh wow.
We got bumped. Yeah, every day I would send my broadcast out, and Drip was like, "Congratulations, we've upgraded you to the next pricing tier." Like, no, I'm like, no.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
Their pricing tier is based on the number of emails you sent.
It's a combination of you get a certain number of emails and a certain number of subscribers.
Huh.
And most people will never hit the limit on the number of emails, but when you send daily emails to 100,000+ people every day, yeah, it adds up really fast.
Are you back to daily emails now?
Yep. Yeah, I've been doing 5 a week because I need to get the audience in sync with me. I need to get them familiar with me and knowing who I am. And
are you sending
everything.
separate emails to your emails to your Sublime list and to this list, or is it the same now?
I actually merged the Sublime list,
but they're still tagged, right?
They're tagged, but they're getting the same emails now. So what I did was I was like, this was about a month ago. I was like, all right, I'm not going to do anything with Sublime anymore. I'm just going to like see what I can do to try to bring these people into Simple Programmer. So I merged them in. Then I sent an email from Simple Programmer to that segment saying, hey, I'm doing this Simple Programmer thing now. You're going to be getting emails from me over here. I'm basically shutting down Sublime. It's been great. Thank you. If you want to unsubscribe, here's the link. And then I got a few like kind of WTF emails after that from people wondering how they got, but it was only like a handful. And everybody, I got several people replying and saying, cool, looking forward to it. So it seems like it worked. And then what I'm going to do is, so right now we're at like we were at 107,000. I just did I pruned about 300 people, or 3,000 people rather. And then I'm going to prune another 12,000 here. So I've stepped up the pruning a little bit and got a little bit more aggressive to try to get the dead weight off from, yeah. But then what I'm doing, so the daily emails, I'm only sending that to a segment where they have a lead score greater than 0. So they've opened an email recently done something, so they're awake. And we're getting on that segment, we get like a 32% open rate, sometimes 34. And then like the list as a whole, when I blast the whole list, I get like around 15 to 17%.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some dead weight.
Yeah, that I've been struggling with email open rates as well. Last couple of my emails went to promotions again. It's like I'm constantly fighting between promotions and updates now, which is it's fucked up. And every time I do it, I realize, okay, fuck, I use the word coupon too much. But
Yeah.
After the fact, the realization is not really useful, right?
Right.
So the first one that went to promotion was a giveaway, and I'm assuming a giveaway is a very like spammy, triggery word.
Okay.
So it's like,
Yeah.
So
so we're up to, so I hit my goal for July was to hit 150 members in the membership, and I got up to 151 signups. That's including people who have canceled. So kind of hit my goal. I'm hoping I can. What's that?
No, keep on.
Okay. I'm looking to add. I'm hoping I can add like 40 to 50 a month, just steadily ongoing here.
What's the cancellation rate?
Right now it's around 10%. So I'm offering. So on a annual membership, on a monthly membership, the average is 90 days. That's like, so just across multiple different types of memberships. So you figure, so 10% on an annual is actually pretty good if you're looking at it from that
10% on annual. So they're basically getting it in their 30-day money back guarantee period or whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I consider to be a cancellation.
So
like a refund. So I give them a 30-day window, and then after that, I'm not going to do any more refunds.
What does your copywriting school or whatever that thing is? What are their guidelines? Like, what do they say about what's the membership retention rate usually for things like annual things?
I am actually meeting with Kevin today, so I'll ask him that. But I don't know. Their program is $1,000 a year. Ours is $100. They're doing really well. But I've heard so on annual, I've heard the 40 to 60% renewal is average. So so half the people will cancel, half will continue.
Okay.
But I'm basically, this part right now is the absolute hardest part because I don't have much there. I'm building it as I go, right? So basically, I've been selling it as join this community. And when you only have that's hard to do when there's only a handful of people in the community. So far, the cancellations, so far I've gotten less cancellations from this. I've only gotten one cancellation from this last membership drive. The one previous, I got maybe 5 or 10, or probably like 5, but they were like, people were like, yeah, there's really just not as much going on here as I was hoping. I'm kind of disappointed. There's not as many posts, not as many members as I was hoping. So that problem will go away as it gets, I just have to get the momentum going. So it's definitely picking up some pretty good steam because we have, so I've got 135 people registered on this forum, and currently we have 107 threads going and 637 messages. And I only created this about 4 weeks ago. So it's been, so we've been getting like this last week, we've been averaging around 25 posts a day, which if you've got, you figure you've only got 135 registered members, it's pretty active. So I figure I probably need to get to like 200 or 300 members before it'll really, before it will really get active. Just today I figured out how to I'm offering a 50% discount across the board on all of our products to annual members. So,
Dude, I sent you that ConvertBox thing. That might be interesting to look at.
Oh yeah, I should take another look at that. But
Because what it
so we'll-
allows you to do is,
go ahead.
sorry, what it allows you to do is put that offer inside the membership area, like pop it up inside the membership area when people sign up or when they do specific things. So it's
Okay.
only visible when they're actually engaged with your product,
Okay.
right? So when they, not like when you're sending an email, but when they're in there, that's when they get the offer. And you can basically tune the offer to whatever you want. And that way you can, do all sorts of magical like targeting and like who should get it, after how many logins should they get it, after how many days of use should they get it, all that stuff.
Okay. That would be, yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. That would be pretty cool. I'm gonna, so right now what I've got it set up to do is when they, sorry, I'm just searching in my email for your email, so I don't forget about it. But I have it set up, so I'm creating an onboarding sequence, an email sequence for when people sign up. So right now the third email they get is going to be about this discount, and it's good and with WooCommerce it's great. So I already have a product in WooCommerce that's the membership. I set up this. It's called a membership. I set up a membership that gives you this lifetime discount to all the products, and as long as your subscription is active for the main product, you have access to, and it'll show, like when you log into the store, it just shows the discounted prices right there. So it's not like a coupon that they have to enter or anything.
I would give them some sort of urgency.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm also going to do, I'm going to do that as well. Part of this is just a retention play. So it's like, as long as you stay active, and you'll have access to this. If you cancel, you lose access to this. So it's so that's part of it. What I'm also doing is I'm going to be doing some. I was talking to. Do you know Jonathan Stark? He's a he helps. Yeah, you know him, Chuck, right?
Yeah.
So he has a book called The Freelancer's Roadmap, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be finding people that have products like this and doing like AppSumo type deals where you can buy the product for $30 or whatever, or if you're a member, you get it for free. Mm-hmm. So we're going to kind of simultaneously do a product sale and push people into the membership. And they'll have access, people that join will have access to it.
But how will you pay? How will you pay the other guy?
I'm going to split the front end sales with him.
Front end sales of the
of his
membership.
Book. No, of his book. So I'm going to do a big promotion. This is going to probably be after our productivity deal. So maybe sometime in late August or early September. 3-day promotion. You can buy. I'm going to list his book in our store as a product, and do a sale on it just like we would do any other product that we have. And then you can either buy the book, or we'll give you the choice to sign up for the membership, and you'll essentially get it included in the membership. And then, so I'm going to do these like several, maybe twice a quarter. So that'll be another, I think that something like that has a chance of pushing, 100 or 200 memberships versus the 50. Like the way that I'm doing it right now is the hardest possible way because I'm just selling the community.
You're just selling urgency.
Yeah. Yes. And there's really no content. There's not like any exclusive content or anything. Up until this point, there have been no additional benefits above and beyond the community. So that's like the hardest possible way to do it. And it's been working to some extent. So, but yeah, so this way, like if this model works, I'm going to try it with Jonathan. If it works out, it gives us a way to essentially buy content for our members, make some money on the front end with it, and pay the partner with that money, and just start to build a content library these are like, this is going to be a one-time only deal. Like Jonathan he's probably not going to let me sell it again. So it probably will be the only chance that people will actually get to buy it at this price. So it should do fairly well.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, I need to try a few different ways to get people in. The other thing that I'm working with Jason Humphrey, who's one of the other Entreprogrammer groups. We're putting together a couple of courses that we're going to test pilot. So we're basically going to write up a little product listing for it, and I'm going to write 1 or 2 emails and like send them to a small segment of the list and see which one of these ideas wins. And then if we'll refund everybody on the one that we're not going to fulfill on right away. But so with these courses, they're going to be basically going to be driven through the membership site. So one of them is to take John's 10 steps product, 10 steps to learn anything quickly, and teach it over 21 days, where we're walking people through the process, and like they pick out a topic, and they all work on putting their learning plan together, and they do all the steps together, and it's all going to be in the forum. So when you sign up for the course, you're going to get the course plus 30 days of access to the membership site for free. And then if you don't cancel, like, we'll be clear about this, but if you don't cancel, we'll roll that over into an annual membership. So you'll maintain access. You'll get charged after the fact for the full membership for the year. You'll get to keep access to the forums and all the stuff that you did in the forums. And so that's another way that I'm looking to use, like an event, basically, to try to drive a big spike. And then the advantage of doing that is that you've got people that are engaging, since they're all going through the course together, and the community is like the hub for that. Then everybody's getting in the habit of using the community. So,
have you heard of Stu McLaurin?
It's familiar. Yeah, remind me.
He's like the guy who teaches how to run membership sites.
Okay.
How to run, how to market, how to sell.
What's that? Check.
Maybe.
I thought he was the guy that created Wishlist Member.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. But he's really all about like helping people monetize membership sites, kind of.
Okay.
I learned about it from Brian Harris, Video Fruit guy.
Okay.
He is like Brian Harris considers Stu McLaurin his mentor. So.
Okay. I'm looking at his site now. I think he has a podcast, so I'll have to dig into that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he did. He created Wishlist Member.
Oh, he did.
He sold it in October of 2014 and went into coaching.
Yeah. He's basically a coach for membership sites, basically.
Nice. So, yep. So, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm going to experiment with a few different ways of getting signups. I mean, the one that I've got right now, I know I have kind of a baseline of how well that's working, so I can compare that against other things and see what works best.
Well, every month you could run a promotion of some sort, saying this month you get this program when you sign up for a membership site. Because I mean, it's fair enough or not. I don't know if it's fair enough, or how do you consider it? But maybe you give them a discount on the joint. Like if they buy 10 steps, they get 1 year of membership or something along those lines that makes it so brain dead simple that they have to go get it. And every month, if you run one of those promotions with one of your products, it's almost like the membership comes free if you buy the product, or vice versa.
Right.
So they feel like, hey, this is like, I should, like, I'm getting one of these for free, but then they are on the hook for for a membership.
Right.
So there could be more urgency than just the fact that it's closing.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that works to some extent, but it works better than just sending emails of talking about the program and not having any scarcity at all. But it's definitely the hardest way to do it. So
Yeah, but I mean, consider it this way also, the fact that it's just selling one of your products while you're getting the other guy in the door.
yeah, well,
Someone who
okay,
might
but
not have bought it.
the trouble with that is we're having a lot of trouble selling our current products because we've had them for so long. So that's where like this new course that I'm developing with Jason will be helpful.
Hey
What is
guys, I've got to take off.
All right, Chuck. Go finish that backyard.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
All right, just think about Apple while you're doing it. You'll finish in record time.
Take away all the ports.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, see ya.
Take
Bye.
care.
See you, man.
Yeah,
What
I
course are you
forget.
guys working on?
Oh, so the two that we're going to test are coding interview bootcamp and basically learning quickly bootcamp. Like those are the two kind of ideas, and
Nice.
they're going to be they'll be like tentatively like kind of a 21-day program where you get like a daily, you're going to get a daily video and an exercise, like it'll all be sequenced so that you're stepping through the process and doing it as a team and posting in the forum and all that stuff. So it'll be
Nice.
it's kind of like Copy Hour, that program that I've really liked.
Modeled
So
it.
like, yeah, kind of having the daily lesson plus execution model, I think works really, really well. So that's what we're going to try. But those
Nice.
two topics are the two things that I have the most confidence in right now. Because Interview Cake, 10 Steps is far and away our best selling product ever. And then Interview Cake was our best affiliate product by far. So
Yeah.
between those two topics, I think we should be able to find something that we can work with. 10-step, the learning one would be nice too, because we can kind of piggyback off John. We're going to be piggybacking off of John's system and teaching John's system. It won't be John doing it, but one thing I've been doing a lot in the emails that seems to be working is like talking about working with John. So I'm kind of like, because John, I've known John for what, like 7 or 8 years now, I think, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so we worked a lot together. So I can kind of bring a lot. I can borrow from his credibility.
I've been working on the upsell scripts for the OTO upsell scripts along the lines of what I've actually been studying Russell Brunson's stuff, the expert secrets and .com secrets, trying to figure out how to do upsells well. It's pretty interesting what's like. There's actually a full podcast episode on it where he talks about it on this podcast that he has called Funnel Hackers. And it's way different than what I thought would actually work. So it's.
Are you focusing on one of your products right now, or doing all of them?
Well, so there are two upsells for the productivity one that I'm working on. The procrastination one that you pointed out, and the second one is the 10 steps to double your productivity by 5 p.m. tomorrow, because both of them were like far and above the biggest ones. So I'm just going to put both of them in the funnel, in the upsell funnel, and see what happens. Yeah. Because it's, one after the other. It's because it's part of the upsell process. It's not a big deal. And then I also have a bump, so it should be fun.
Cool. So are you thinking you're going to have those done then?
Yeah. What is your timeline?
So we have that set for the week. So August 7th through 9th is what we were thinking.
Yep. We should be good for that for sure.
Okay.
I already have most of it done here. So I'm actually trying to get get it done with Focus at Will even before then. So hopefully we'll have a flush of that whole process. But yeah, that's good. That's perfect.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So we'll do that,
Well,
and yeah, that'll be fun.
yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to write the emails over. So it was funny because when we did the interview cake promotion, John, we had a bunch of people going, "Yay, John's back!" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh,
Like, oh,
fuck.
no, sorry. Canned emails from last September.
Oh shit. Like,
Oh yeah,
literally people replied back saying, "Hey, John's back."
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was close enough to me switching over to using my name that it wasn't like, probably in 3 months that will be like, ugh, super jarring for people, and I probably won't do that anymore. But it was just like, let's just try it.
Yeah.
And the main thing I wanted to gauge was like compare the response rate to what we had before.
Yeah, that's a tough
See
one.
if that- yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did you listen to the Dan Fagella interview?
I did. Yes, I did. So the main, I mean, that was pretty much what he did was pretty much what we've been thinking about doing, and what John and I have been talking about. The main thing that I got, the biggest thing that I got that was a takeaway was that he set all of his deals up to be no ongoing commitment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just paying people a flat rate to do the courses. So I'm
Products.
shooting. That's actually what so when I was talking to Jonathan Stark, I was lobbying for just paying him a licensing fee up front, flat licensing fee, and then we could do what we wanted, the product. But he didn't go for that. So we came up with another option. But yeah, the difficulty, the trouble I'm having is that in our unique little corner of the software development world, there aren't a whole lot of real experts on this stuff, which is part of the reason why people were so eager when they found John. So by the time someone has enough of a following to where I'm like, okay, yeah, they know something about job interviews for software developers. Usually by that point, they're already somewhat successful, and they're going to be harder to work with and harder to negotiate with. So I think I need to have a feeder system, like a farm system for developing these people, like Pluralsight does, because.
But I think part of the benefit you guys have, or part of the business, is that you guys can create. What I mean by that is you can anoint people as, hey, look at this guy that we found who is an expert at blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, we just have to find those people before they make it on their own.
Yeah.
It's true.
So.
But it's almost like part of us are like, we're in the business of trust. So if you find those people, you're selling the trust along with it.
We're the kingmakers.
Yes.
Yeah. When for real.
Well, the part of the difficulty right now is that I'm trying to establish that for myself with the audience. So for me to go like pick somebody who's not well known at this point isn't really going to mean much. But 6 months from now, that'll be a different story.
Well, did you get John to anoint you as the king when you guys did this whole transition thing?
Yeah, not really. So, which in hindsight would have been, well, because it didn't unfold, like we didn't really plan it out. I was initially planning to continue to use John's name on stuff for a while, but then his YouTube video went in our email newsletter, and it was like we didn't really plan it out, so it just sort of happened, and wasn't ideal, but.
So the next time when Josh, you decide to leave Simple Programmer, you know exactly how to do.
I do
everything going forward.
So Manny, you're Focuster or whatever that hasn't happened yet.
Focus at Will.
Yeah, Focus at Will.
I I left for India. Otherwise, it would have been happening
Okay.
right about now. But I had to. Also, okay. So there are a couple of things. Also, I didn't realize how low the bar was. So I was like
Yeah.
bitching about how this guy totally fucked it up by selling only $3,000 worth of products on an email to 200, 300, whatever thousand people and 18,000 clicks and all that stuff. I was like, man, what the fuck is this shit? Like, they probably don't want to do any more of this, blah, 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 blah. So I was kind of depressed about it. And then I
Oh
come
wait,
back to find
I
out.
hadn't heard about this actually. I don't think we talked about it.
Okay, so there's this guy called Jeff Sanders who runs this. Oh shit, I should have not talked about that. Well, I try not to take names, but now that it's here, he has a productivity course, and I think it's a really bad sales page. In my opinion, it is a terrible sales page, but so Focus at Will guys did a promotion for him because he drove like $1,000 worth of revenue for them. So they're like, all right, in terms of affiliate sales. So they did a promotion for him. They mailed it out to their list of 300,000 with around 18,000 clicks in the first 2 days and 20,000 clicks, I think, total. 20,000 clicks. And they made $3,000 in revenue, not
Like
profit.
Total, not commission,
Total
but
sales.
total
sales. Total sales. Right?
Man.
So when I heard that, I was crushed. I was like, shit. Like with something like this, they will probably never want to do a info product sale again. Like, this sounds so bad, right? 20,000 clicks, $3,000 is like 10. It's like 10 cents a click is more or less what they're getting.
Yeah.
At this point, right? So I was like, shit, man. This is so fucked. So I didn't really give much. Like, I was kind of disappointed with the whole thing. But then the guy who's the affiliate manager, I was talking to him again, and he's like, "Oh no, that was good, man. At least we made some money. We're not making any money off our emails." I'm like, "Oh my god,
Right.
this is unbelievable. This is for real. Like, their email marketing, because these guys don't really do any kind of aggressive email marketing. So any money they make is like exciting for them."
Cool.
So
Okay, I thought that you'd already done one with somebody, and it didn't do as well as you'd hoped, but. Sounds like
no.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't mine. It was someone else's.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Mine hasn't gone through with them yet.
Okay.
So mine will go through in the next couple of weeks now.
Is it just one email they're sending?
Yeah, that's what they're saying right now. But that's what John and I were talking about, the idea that we should get you to convince them that they need to send more than just one email.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they would send at least two,
Yeah.
just do it and make it a 24-hour deal and do two of them, that would probably double the sales.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
if you can do it once and get some credibility with them, then I mean that's a tough.
Yeah,
it's a tough.
I mean, I would love for them to do more, but if all we do is one, and with the right urgency and with the right timing and all that stuff, I think we'd still get, so let's say 5 emails do 100%. So with one email, maybe we can still get 20%. And that could still show them that, hey, with 5 emails, we could still do 100% or more.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah. A lot of people are uncomfortable with that at first, but.
That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fine. Like, maybe they don't believe it's going to be as useful right away. But if we get one to convert at a good enough EPC, we know that now we can convert it again. They actually freaking peddle this thing called Optimind, which is like brain supplements and stuff, which their list really hates. That's what I've heard. Like, they say, "Hey, why are you selling shit like this?" So apparently, they're it's interesting how it's working out with them. So yeah, that's gonna happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to get them a few more. I'm gonna try and get them to make $1,000 in revenue for them as well. That's not a big deal, but that should open the door even more for the promote to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy was ready to promote it like in his newsletter around 4th of July. But I backed out because we didn't have our upsells in place at the time. And I was like, no, not until we have a good enough funnel for you guys to make shitload of money so you believe that it will work.
Yeah, an exclusive or a non or a dedicated email is always going to be better anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just a plug in the newsletter wouldn't be worth it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I have to let them like remember their bar is so low that if they think with the newsletter they get a couple of thousand, they might think, hey, this is actually working.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah, it's still better. You got to go for the thing that you know
Yeah.
is going to be successful, because it could also bomb in the newsletter,
Yeah.
right? But you know, if you send a dedicated email, it won't bomb. So
Yeah. Yeah. By the
I
way,
gotta-
I'm going to, huh?
I was just saying, I got to jump off here in a second. I got to email, or I got to call in 5 minutes. But
All right. Yeah, I guess I got to jump out too. I'm here at 10:45 p.m. India time, and I have a flight to catch tomorrow. But I'm going to traffic and I'm going to War Room on Monday and Tuesday. with
Oh, yeah.
Miles.
nice.
That should be exciting.
Where is that? Is that in Redondo Beach?
Newport.
Newport. Okay, yeah.
cool. Thoughts? I know what I'm going to say. So try to make it short. Basically, so this week I was negotiating with Jonathan Stark, trying to figure out like how we can get this product. I can get this product and offer it to our members. And I was like, he emailed me. I made him an offer. He emailed me back, and basically like I thought he was trying to like price anchor me by throwing out really big numbers. So I was really tempted to like counter, and I was like, all right, no, I'm just going to ask him a question. So I asked like, all right, well, why is this an issue for you? And the reply, he gave me two reasons in response that were totally different than what I was expecting. And money was not even an issue for him really. So by doing that, I was able to come up with another way of handling it that addressed his concerns and will probably make both of us more money than what we had originally planned on. So I think like in negotiation, like I recently read Never Split the Difference, and that was like, looking to get more information about from the person that you're negotiating with, rather than just like sort of like, stepping up, belly up to the bar and like starting to slug it out over price, which is what everybody's instinct is. If you dig around, ask questions, you can find information that will able to make you to make a much better deal for everybody.
I have an idea for your membership site. A built-in book club.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yep.
With stuff like this, with Never Split the Difference, or how to win friends and influence people.
Yep,
Yeah,
like a reading club.
Yeah, have a forum, like one of the forums in there be book club. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep, I like it.
If you need someone to orchestrate it, let's talk about it. If you need someone to sell their summaries to them, that's also possible.
Let me see. I think mine for the week is if you keep on doing something difficult, it'll become easy. And it seems like a really basic statement, but we forget that, right? So we shy away from difficult things a lot of times because they're difficult and they feel uncomfortable. But if you keep on persisting, it eventually becomes easy, one way or the other, right? So I think that's just important to remember anytime that you try to do anything extremely difficult. When I first started doing Muay Thai, kickboxing, like it's still difficult, but it's like it's gotten easier, right? I've adapted, I've gotten better, right? Pretty much everything that I've ever like taken on that I've done for long enough eventually becomes easier. And so I think just having that mindset, realizing that like it's not that, like, because I think the reason why I say that is because when you imagine something that you're doing that's really difficult, what ends up happening is you imagine yourself like just like having to slog through this forever, and you don't realize that you're eventually going to hit this curve. You're going to get traction. You'll hit the other side of the learning curve, and then it'll become easier. So the mindset is wrong. Instead, if you realize that it's actually the difficulty is going to greatly decrease over time, but it's going to be very concentrated to the front, just like an amortization schedule on on a house, right? I think that's the outlook to have.
Okay. I was actually listening to Be Obsessed again, Be Obsessed or Be Average. I actually like the book. I don't like Grant Cardone as much anymore, but the fucking book I still like.
Yeah.
I like that book and 10X Rule as well. I like both those books. So one of the ideas there was the idea of you got to pay the price. No matter what thing you're going after in life, you got to pay the price. A lot of the times the challenge is that we don't even know what the price is that we actually need to pay for that thing. So we shy away from the hardships, or we shy away from doing the difficult things because we're somehow creating this in our head that, hey, maybe we can make it work without the shit or without the hard stuff. But if we know that we have to pay the price, and if we're clear on the price that we have to pay in our head, like what kind of price I'll have to pay. So maybe when it comes to business, one of the prices you have to pay is there will be failures or along those lines. Or if you're, everything that you do in life, there will be a price if you're going to go after greatness or after something really big. And you've got to be able to constantly identify if you are actually paying the price or not. And if not, well, it's time to step up and pay the price, or decide that you're not really going to take this challenge.
Right.
So there is a price always.
It's true. The interesting thing about it too, I think, is that like you pay the price for a long, long time without getting anything back, and then you get it back like at once, right? It's like you're going to pay the price for a long time without without anything, just negative. But.
Yes, and the interesting thing about that is also
oh shoot, I got
your concept. Yeah, your concept of price will also constantly change. But
All right.
Cool, guys.
See you guys.
See you guys
Alrighty.
next time. Bye-bye.
Wanna start a business, but you just know how to code. Listen to John, Josh, and Derek as we figure it out. We are the Entre Programmers, and we'll teach you straight up